So we just got back on a trip from vacation. We're on this trip. My wife told me, she said, you should put some of your pictures on your YouTube page. So I was like, I do put some of my pictures on the YouTube page. I have a lot of videos with pictures on them. She's like, oh, I've never seen them. So I'm like, well, today we're going to do a video that's really picture heavy. And we're going to talk all about the Lumix G9 as we go along. We're going to talk about some of the features that I really like about it, and some of the features or some of the problems I had along the way that I didn't like so much. I also took the Sony RX100 Mark 7 with me. We'll show some pictures and some videos of that, and just do a brief recap of what I think about that camera while I'm on vacation. But let's start off with the G9. We'll just start off by showing you some of the pictures I took. These first few pictures, the first set of pictures anyway, are taken with a 12 to 60 Leica lens. It's basically the kit lens you get with the Lumix G9. And we'll go ahead and roll some of those pictures now. As you can see, I think these pictures are just awesome. They're really sharp, excellent focus, really great pictures. You know, a lot of these YouTubers, they'll go into some great technical details about lenses and pictures and cameras and megapixels and all that kind of stuff. But to me, there's only one test that I like to run on the pictures. What does it look like to me? Does the picture look good to me test? And to me, the pictures on the G9 look pretty awesome. Hashtag win in focus. Are you gonna get super duper shallow depth of field like a full frame camera with a 1.8 aperture, 1.4 aperture lens on there? No. You're never gonna get that, I don't think, with a Micro Four Thirds camera. The 1.7 will give you some, like I have that 1.7 30mm lens, and it will give you a little bit of depth of field, but it's just not going to be tremendously blurry like if you're expecting that out of this camera. You're just not going to get a very good blurry background with this camera. The camera is super light. Again, with that 12 to 60, which is 24 to 120 mil equivalent, and then also the 35 to 100, and the prime lens I have, the 15mm. They're so small and light that it's really hard to discount that when you're taking the camera on vacation. They are so small and light, it just makes it easy to carry around. Like if I've taken a full frame camera on vacations like this before, pretty much never pulled it out of my backpack because it was just way too heavy in my hands. Not necessarily the camera, but the lens was always too heavy. And these lenses, all three of them, are super light. Another one of the things that I really like about this camera is that it's really just a workhorse camera, meaning I just go out and shoot with it, and I don't worry about it, I don't have to sit there and worry about every little thing. Like half of these pictures that were taken, my daughter took, or friends took, or whoever, somebody else took them, not just me. So it's a camera that I don't have any problems giving to my my kids and have them going out, because they like shooting pictures, they like doing photo shoots and stuff like that. And I've always been hesitant of giving them one of my full frame cameras just because of the expense of it. With this camera here, I feel comfortable and just turning them loose, and they seem to really enjoy that too. On this boat trip, I had a chance to pull out the 35 to 100mm lens, and we were tubing around the lake, and I was able to get really good shots of people on the tube. And I was just thinking to myself, that there is no way that I would have ever taken my 70-200 RF lens out on that boat and pulled it out and start taking pictures. I mean, that lens is just massive. I'd have been a nervous wreck the whole time that something was going to happen, or I was going to break it or drop it or blah blah blah. So in this instance, it's good. Like I don't mind pulling out the 35-100. It's way smaller, way more compact, way lighter, and you know, what's better in your hands, a tool that you're going to use or a tool that you're afraid that you're going to, you know, possibly mess up by using it. So in that instance, it was great because, you know, I was able to get some really good pictures of the kids tubing without the fear of breaking anything. Video about any Panasonic camera is the autofocus. And it's not really so much the autofocus, it's just the predictability of the autofocus. You can just never tell when it's going to be focused or not, or when the autofocus is going to fritz out on you. This picture right here, I took right when my daughter walked out of Build-A-Bear, and she was so excited. She's 15 years old, by the way, which is she's kind of reliving some of her childhood memories, which was cool to see. And she just walked out of Build-A-Bear with her, you know, new bear or rabbit or whatever she got, and she was so excited. And I took this series of pictures right here. Not one of them were in focus. I mean, the box was around her face, and it had her eye and everything, but nothing was in focus. So I missed this series of pictures because of the autofocus of the camera, which was really disappointing. And it just kind of makes you think sometimes, like, well, you know, if I'm going somewhere and I have the possibility to get the picture of a lifetime, will I trust this autofocus system? That's something you're going to have to kind of ask yourself on that, because, I mean, like I say, for the most part, it does good, but sometimes when it trips up, it's just absolutely, I mean, it's bad. So my advice, if you go with this camera, plan on taking a lot of pictures and get used to checking your autofocus just all the time. And you should come out all right there, but you know, sometimes you don't get to take a lot of pictures. You just get one snapshot. Boom, you got to take the picture. It's the perfect picture. Is it in focus? Maybe. Maybe not. With this camera. So you have to keep that in mind. So back on the G9, one other point I want to make is, yes, I did miss the picture with my daughter coming out of Build-A-Bear, and that was a bad situation. So while it took away from me there, it also allowed me, the G9, because of the lenses being lighter and smaller, I was able to take my G9 out on the boat and get some really good pictures with the 35-100. So it gives back to you there. So there's a pluses and minuses to the G9 that you're going to have to weigh. If you're expecting a full frame camera or full frame look out of the camera, you're not going to get that. But if you just want to go on vacation and shoot some really good videos and photos, it's excellent for that. Now let's talk about the Sony RX100 Mark VII. The last day we were there, I decided, you know what, I'm not going to take my G9. I got enough photos of it. I gave it a really good trial for the weekend. So the last day I just wanted to take out the Sony and kind of shoot some videos and photos of it. Now, the Sony is a really nice camera. It has super great autofocus. Everybody knows that. It's so good on the autofocus. But to me, the photos and the videos and some of the functionality of the camera really don't exceed what your cell phone can do. I mean, your cell phone can do super slow-mo. Your cell phone can do pictures. Your cell phone can put a nice blur on the background of your pictures. That's a simple review of the RX100 Mark 7. There's, you know, I mean, there is a lot of pluses to it, but is it significantly better than a cell phone that you should go out and buy one if you have a good cell phone? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. So that's my little take on the RX100 Mark 7. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Just a look at a bunch of pictures from my vacation and a little bit about the G9. And this is for my wife, who finally made it into one of my YouTube videos. Had a few pictures of her in there, and hopefully she's watched it this far. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.